My name is Susan Nagy. I teach at Central Community High School in Elkader, Iowa. Mostly have English students. This class is sophomore level, and I've been teaching at Central 21 years.
I am Barb Dewey Peterson, and I have been teaching at Central Schools in Elkader, Iowa for 23 years. I teach health and family and consumer science, and in the health field we have all freshmen and all sophomores. So when we are working on this project, it is all the sophomores in English and the sophomores in health.
I'm Hyla Garms, the media specialist here at Central Community School, and I've been here 29 years, and I have 33 years of experience. I'm responsible for the media centers in our district and have 3 media centers to supervise with some assistance.
The activity that the sophomores are involved in for this unit is making iMovies. And the enthusiasm with which they approach the media, we hope also is the enthusiasm that they approach the topic, and the topic is environmental health. So it's a collaborative project. We work with the media director, and I am the high school English component of the team, and the health teacher is responsible for the topic, and then I work with the students as they actually make an iMovie. We've worked the whole year in persuasive language and argumentative, and not only having the courage to stand on your feet and give a speech and be persuasive, but recognizing it in print, and now they have to show that they understand it by producing a piece of video that encourages some kind of behavior, and the topic will be environmental health. We base the goals and objectives of this unit, first of all, on our school district goals, and the school board has put very high on their list of goals for the entire school district that the students be independent learners. So a lot of the units during the year, especially sophomore level, are aimed at encouraging students to take responsibility for their own learning. The whole idea is that they learn to research doing an iMovie or doing some kind of a paper, that then when they go to buy a car, they know how to research that and how to approach that. So the school board goal is that they become independent learners. Of course, they also want content knowledge. That's a school board goal. And I would be responsible for the English content knowledge. And that's gotten so broad that I would include, in terms of content knowledge, the use of the technology to persuade an audience, and all of the workplace skills that we're hoping our students leave with. The ability to solve a problem in a team, to communicate, to be punctual, to be responsible, all the things that a business owner would wish for an employee. We're certainly hoping our students start with that. When we first introduced the unit to the students, we also include the rubric. And the rubric was designed over a couple of years, and Barb and I have changed it continually, because we're looking for a good message. We want it to be educational. We want the students to have something that teaches beyond what they're learning in the textbook. We have students who've interviewed people who own electric cars. They've even had rides in an electric car, and we want them to teach us then about why we should buy an electric car. So the rubric is real heavy on what kind of educational value it has. But we do that on the very first day so that the students know exactly what's expected of them, but they love the glitz. And so the rubric also includes how well did they put the message across. We're also interested in what social skills the students have developed, and that is an ongoing assessment that we do all year. The students write a reflective essay when the unit is finished and address those kinds of issues. When the students present their final product in health class, then they're also using the same rubric that Barb and I use, and they're very aware of what kind of project they have compared to the rest of the students, and are actually pretty fair about grading themselves. But it does make them take one last look at how much input they individually had in their project, whether they were a part of the team, and how effective the project is as a whole. So they use the rubric, we use the rubric.
The technology resources that we used in this particular project were the internet, which we've used all year, and that has just kind of become a standard with the students. And then we've also used the iMovie and the Avid Cinema.
A lot of the students are using their computer graphics skills and bringing that into iMovie, in addition to using the software that makes the movies. We picked iMovie and Avid Cinema because the glitz is wonderful, and glitz, I'm kind of using that to mean all the special effects and the fun things that we'll do. This is definitely an MTV generation. We're a Channel 1 school, so they see well-produced graphics and well-produced short segments every day. And there is no reason why these students can't use the same kind of technology, and we're excited about them doing it. They are thrilled. The enthusiasm that they approach any learning that is wrapped around technology is contagious, and so we enjoy their enthusiasm. The teaching strategies that we've found most effective is small group. And we always have some who resist it, and I know we have a couple who actually even hate it. And so we are constantly tempering the strategies that we use and try not to overuse the group process or the small groups. When students work in small groups, they bring a lot of skills and a lot of different knowledge to the small group, and I think everyone learns better. The group as a whole learns better, even the kids who resist being in a group. It does make it difficult to grade. The assessment then is who all participated and how much did they contribute to the group. So that's difficult to balance in terms of picking small groups as a teaching strategy. The chart that the faculty uses that ties Bloom's taxonomy to rigorous and relevant means that as we develop the unit, we're trying to allow the students who excel at everything and are excited about everything and you expect good work from, to still push them, to still require something of them. And they can turn in a wonderful project, but not at the expense of a student who may be working just as hard but has a difficult time, and they can also do a very nice project, learn something, show by their work sample that they have taken charge of their own learning and maybe learn something beyond what the textbook has to offer. And in terms of a final project, might not be as good, but a lot of learning has gone on.
With democracy, I also like the small groups because the introverted student or kind of the wallflower has a chance to say something, and usually in a smaller group they feel that a little more comfortable in offering something, and everyone's not going to laugh at me. So I feel that we've kind of brought a few students out, their personalities out in working with small groups also.
I would say that we select materials for students to use when they're doing projects such as this. We have a large reference section that would provide books, and we also have a lot of access to computers and technology, and so information-wise, students can jump on the internet and find lots of sources there. We have nonfiction section that would provide information. We help students out when they're looking for information. They might use the resources of our area education agency, and many times they need help in knowing where to go to get interviews or talk with experts that might be local experts here. I collaborated with these teachers to help with the project that they're doing. Basically, when they get to the point where they need to find information, and they have already designed the project and have plans for what they expect of their students, and I help them as I can to help them with the information finding primarily. So they would be in the search mode of their project when I get involved usually. We do use the Big Six search strategy in our school. I get involved when they are searching for information, and also when it's time to kind of assimilate that information into some sort of project, whether it be video, iMovie, as this project is, or sometimes it's reports or research that they're doing. Usually the teacher will come to me and say, this is what we're doing. Is there something that you could do to help my students evaluate information, for instance? And then I might do something with a little lesson that would help them to do that. Sometimes teachers have projects and they'll come to me and need some help to gather information. We might start with a recommended web list for them so that students, when they come, will sit down and start with those resources. They'll certainly advance and go to links outside of those, but it's a place for them to start. So we often work together to come up with those. I would say that media specialists are always pleased to have teachers who want to have them collaborate with them on projects from the classroom. And it's wonderful to have the teachers come with a project and ask you to be a part of that. And so I always encourage teachers to do that, and I'm glad to get involved and help in any way I can.